Welcome back. You're listening to the Cindy Laverty Show nationwide on CRN Digital Talk Radio. We cannot possibly cover all the points that are in Daphne Rose Kingma's book, The 10 Things to Do When Your Life Falls Apart. I'm only going to encourage you to get a copy of this book and listen to the show. If you're just joining us now, go back and listen to archives on my site at cindylavertyshow.com. Daphne, in the last segment, I really want to talk about the spiritual perspective, the importance of spirituality every day. And you say, pray for grace.
Yes. Well, I think the overarching message of this book is that whatever crisis you're in is not just a blotch on your life, a random assault from the universe, but it is really an opportunity for transformation.
Yeah.
It's meaningful, it's purposeful. You will come through it transformed, different, elevated, on a new path. But the thing that is important to sustain you on the journey of going through the crisis until you get to that path is the belief that it is purposeful. It's surrendering to the notion that there is a larger design for your life and that you will get through this and that it will deliver you to a different place and you will come to peace and rest and newness. And so, we don't get that feeling on the emotional level. We just get the feelings of fear and distress and anxiety and how are we going to do this and why have I lost control and when am I going to get control again. But when we enter that state, the spiritual state, we're occupying the awareness that says, my life is a part of the whole. I am a part of the whole. There's something going on here that's bigger than me. I'm being asked to learn to love. I'm being asked to learn to trust. I'm being asked to have this awareness that I'm a part of all humanity and all of the beauty of life and the universe. And when we can get to that place, then things start to fall into place for us. It's like...
In your experience with working with as many people as you have over the years, do you feel like the people who get that message do better than those who just stay in the emotional place and maybe never cultivate their spirituality?
Absolutely. And I think a lot of times crisis comes because we haven't cultivated our spirituality.
Right.
It's like, okay, this isn't going to be solved just because you have another $25,000. It's like you've got to go to a different level. You've got to see the larger picture. And, so sometimes the crisis is the thing that jumps people from the emotional to the spiritual level. And when you get there, it's like the things that really matter. Love matters. Our connection with one another matters. The fact that we are carriers of the energy of love, the fact that we have an eternal spiritual part that will continue with us whether or not we're alive. And when we're connected with those realities and the awareness of those realities, then we truly are at peace.
Right. Well, and one of the things that you say when people are going through this crisis is to remember who you are. And this was another little short paragraph that really moved me in the book. And it's that you say, instead, it's time to come once again to the altar of your competence, to claim the riches in yourself, to live the power of who you are, of who you've always been. It's time to tease out the thread your soul has woven through your life. Crisis is a challenge to express your strengths at their highest R, which is when you also are at your most beautiful.
Yes.
Talk about that for a second.
Well, that's the other side of a person's defaults. Defaults are thoughtless behaviors that aren't necessarily effective, but on the other side, we do have incredible strengths as individuals. We have gifts that have allowed us to navigate through life. And when you're in a time of crisis, that's a great opportunity to connect with that. What is my personal power? What is my unique gift? Whether it's the ability to write a book, whether it's a gift with people, whether it's the ability to, design things, whether it's endurance, humor, whatever. But when we connect with those things that are powerfully true about ourselves, then we've connected with something that wants to be born through our crisis, and also with something that will carry us through our crisis.
And we need to persist in that. Persistence is important. I think that's something that's not really a big thing in today's society.
That's so true, because we're the instant everything society.
I want answers, and I want them now.
Right. I'm going to Google up the 2,629,000 answers. And so, again, that's why I think persistence had to be specifically mentioned, that when you're going through a difficult time, you have to do the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, or the same thing 25 times before you see that a result is shaping itself and occurring, and you are being taken to a next place, and it is wonderful or different, and you see that you've landed in a new reality. And that's one thing I want to say really strongly, Cindy, is that when people are in a crisis, it seems like you'll never get out of it.
Right.
But the truth is you will, and when you are, you will see that there were great gifts from it.
You're so right. Daphne, and I think it's persistence with purpose also.
Very well said.
I can't recommend this book enough. Daphne, I'm so grateful that you joined me today on the show. I hope that you will come back and
would love to
spend time with us again. Maybe I can get you in the studio for a little drive down to LA area.
That would be lovely.
Have a great weekend, and thank you so much for being here. Stay with us. You're listening to the Cindy Laverty Show. I'll be right back after the break.
On May 2nd, 2011,